Hey, good morning. Welcome to Relationship Rockstar 2020, day 3. Very exciting. We're underway here, a few days in, and today we're going to talk about how to set your relationship GPS to one destination, right? This is the whole idea of KISS. Keep it simple, sweetie, right? So that's what we're going to work on today. But before we get started, my name is Stacy Rocklein, and I'm a relationship literacy coach. I help people to create, strengthen, and deepen their emotional connections in their lives. And this challenge, completely free challenge, is to help you to set the tone for your 2020 relationships. We're on day 3. There are 7 days in this challenge, and so we've got a few more to go. And just a couple of items. It's not too late to get started. We do training videos. I do training videos, and you watch them every morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Time on this page. And those are recorded. So if you miss one live, no big deal. You can go back and find them on this page and watch them whenever. And I'm also uploading those to YouTube, so you can find those on my channel. You have access to a free downloadable workbook. Looks like this. You can find that at relationshiprockstar.com. Put in your email and you will get access to that immediately. So you can follow along with the trainings in our worksheets, and there's PDFs in there and just all kinds of little things. So day 1, we started our appreciation chain. Day 2, we were working on our text bingo. Hopefully you're playing. And day 3, this is our GPS. Okay, we are going to dive into that right now. But I just want to say this. If you're joining in, please feel free to invite anybody in your life that might be interested. You can do this with a partner. You can do this with friends. You can do this with anybody. Anyone is welcome. It's light and fun and just a way for us to keep moving on relationships alongside our other goals, right? I'm sure you've got like financial goals and health goals and all those kinds of things. Relationship goals are really important. So please invite people. It's not too late for them to get started. Easy to catch up. We haven't done any big homework assignments or anything. And share this with anyone you think might benefit, okay? You might, by sharing these videos and some tool with someone that you know, you could literally change their year. You could change their year if they can implement one thing that will help them move in the direction of more love in their life. So please feel free to share. I encourage you to do that. Okay, let's dive right in to today, day 3. Okay. The big idea for today is this. I'm just trying to get your comments in front of me, and my computer doesn't feel like working, so that may not happen today. Big idea for today is this. Intention-based action will pave the way to healthy relationships. Okay? Intention-based action will pave the way toward healthy relationships. And let's break this down a little bit. First of all, I will tell you that being proactive beats reactive any day. Okay, proactive beats reactive any day. So what does that mean? Reactive is when everything outside of us is controlling what's happening to us. And that can be someone else in our life. That can be just external circumstances. And actually, I'm gonna argue that even if you can't control something outside of you, you can still be proactive about how you react to it. So when you're reactive, this is when you kind of feel like things are just coming at you. You can't catch a break. You're putting out fires. It feels like all of the ways you're feeling and having to respond to are coming at you. That you are not the person in control of what's happening. You want to be in your own driver's seat, right? You don't want to just let someone else take control of your life. And here are some of the reasons why. When you sit in a place of reaction, then energetically, you have to constantly decide what to do, right? Something comes at you and you're like, oh, what should I do? Decisions take energy. So if you constantly have to figure it out because you don't have a compass like we're going to create today, You're wasting energy all the time. This is like that whole idea of how, the genius contributors in the world will wear the same clothes every single day or eat the same lunch every single day. Why? They're minimizing the choices they have to make, right? They've already decided ahead of time, so they don't have to every day go, what should I wear? Or what should I have for lunch? It's just done. And they have that much more energy to put into other things. So you want to have a guide so you don't have to do that either. And it works in relationships same, okay? So you don't want to waste energy with having to constantly decide what to do, okay? The other thing is, and it's totally okay if you're here right now, it's possible that your default reaction is not in your best interest. It might be unhealthy right now. And, I can tell you from experience, right? I have a temper. So if I go through life on default, when things come at me, I like a flame. Okay, that's just my default. That's not super healthy. It doesn't make me feel good. It damages relationships. I have to be proactive about my responses so that I make healthy choices. So the default you have yourself on right now just might not be that healthy for you, and it's totally no big deal. That's why we pick something to focus on so that we can be proactive, okay? Joe says it's hard to see you with the temper. Oh, girl. So we want to be proactive because we don't want to leave ourselves on default if it's not healthy, and we don't have to make decisions constantly all the time, and we don't want to leave the world in charge of us. We want to be in charge of us. Even with things coming at us, if we have a way we know we want to respond, that's being proactive, even for the things that we don't control. Okay, like I have notes behind the phone. So I'm just checking on those. Okay, next thing is healthy relationships is two things, okay? It's moving toward what you want, and it's also moving away from what you don't want. So let's break that down a little bit, okay? The things that you want to experience in your relationships, those desires that we have, they could be based on something that you've experienced before, right? You've had it before and you're like, I loved that. That felt so good. I want more of that, okay? Without getting stuck on it's not here. That is something that you want more of. Maybe it's something you haven't experienced yet, right? You're like, man, I see that out there. I know that's a possibility for people. I want that for me. So part of figuring out what we want is figuring out those things, figuring out what we actually want. But then the other part is figuring out what we don't want. And people are afraid of this sometimes, right? They don't want to focus on the things that have happened that they didn't want to experience. But instead of being afraid, I suggest step into it, because here's the thing. It's information. It tells you, right? I don't want to be in a codependent relationship, right? I don't want to hang out with someone who has narcissistic tendencies. I don't want to feel like I'm voiceless. I don't want to give to somebody who isn't going to appreciate me. All of those experiences, the reason why they're positive is because they give you lessons, right? They show us what we don't want. And what we want is a combination of both. It's a combination of the things that we want and the things that we don't want. So I don't want you to be afraid to think about that today, okay? Last, I gotta look behind. Okay, your heart-based intentions, things that come from your heart, are going to be rewarded with inspiration. So it's really important that we get into our heart-based intentions, okay? And sometimes we operate from fear, and this is a good distinction to help you figure out where you're coming from, okay? You want to focus on one of these sentences and not on the other one, okay? One fear-based thing that can bounce around our heads when we figure out we're trying to figure out what we want is, my life won't be complete until, or my life will be complete once I. Okay, what we're saying is right now my life is not complete, and I'm not going to be whole, and it's not going to be okay until I get that, or once I achieve that, okay? That is a fear-based perspective. The love-based perspective that comes from your heart is, my life is complete and would be enhanced by, okay? It feels really different. And we're going to talk in a second about how it feels in your body. So watch out for those. If you hear that, I won't be complete unless I have a partner, am married, have a baby, live in a big house. Anything you say about your life, when you say my life will not be complete until, this is a fear-based, scarcity-based perspective. You want to be at, my life is complete, but would be enhanced by. I want to bring this thing in because that's exciting. So look for that when you're thinking about fear. The growth, the big picture on growth is this. Where are you? Where are you going? How are you going to get there? Right? We assess where we are without judgment, perfectly okay, right? Where we want to go, that's what we want and what we don't want. And then what are the actions we take to get there, right? And if something's coming from your heart, this is what I believe. And I don't know what you believe in, whether it's God or the universe or some kind of divine power or what it is. I personally really believe that if something comes from my heart, an intention comes from my heart, that the universe will 100% bring me clues about what to do. It's going to lay the path for me. I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is know what I want in my heart, and something's going to come in, and then I'm going to know what to do. And that's the next thing. You have to take inspired action. When something comes in front of you that you know aligns with that thing you want, and you can tell that that's an expansive, bright, light, heart-based intention, you got to take action. When you take action, guess what? The universe goes, oh, she gets it. She gets it. She's listening. And it will give you more and give you more and give you more and give you more. Pretty soon you're there. You're at your destination. So you have to follow along on those inspired actions. Okay, this brings us to what we're going to do today. Today you're going to pick a word. You're going to pick a word to inspire you toward your destination this year. And I'm going to break down this a little bit for you today. We have already started our appreciation chain, our text bingo. Now we're on day 3. Let's see if now I apologize because Facebook would not let me flip my video, I think. At least it's not showing me flipped. So this could be backwards. But you're looking for the page that has this little certificate at the bottom. And there's some questions that are optional to ask yourself to help you with this activity. One is, what would have a powerful effect on my relationships? Because you're trying to pick just the right word. What is missing from my relationships? Remember, don't fear that. That's information. That still helps guide you. What do I want to get better at? Because you're going to pick a word to set you up for the future. And what this word is it's your compass, it's your guide. When you have an idea, a clue, you're faced with a decision, you hold it up against this word for this year, and that is how you decide what you should do. It gives you a way forward. Now you don't have to think about it. Okay, this is your proaction. This is the thing that you're going to use to focus forward, okay? Something comes in, you simply go, hey, you weigh it against. I'll give you some examples in a second. Okay, that tells me, yes, I have to do this, okay? So that's the purpose of this. And what I want you to do, when you think you've got a word, I want you to focus in on how you feel, like how your body feels. Because you want to get excited and not have feelings of scarcity, okay? This is how it happens for me. I have a tendency when I'm in fear to pick things that I think will take me somewhere fast. So I feel frenzy, I feel panic, I feel like urgency. When I feel those things in my body, in my chest, in my stomach, when they come up for me, I know that I am in scarcity and fear. So I know those are not the right directions for me. When I feel like it's heart-based, I feel calm. I don't feel hurried. I feel trusting. I feel expansive. So feel in your body when you're thinking about this word so that you can find the one that feels like the right fit, that feels like it's coming from your heart. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Sorry, quick drink of water. This is a life example. I always pick a word on my birthday, and my birthday is September 13th. So since September 5th, I've been wearing this bracelet, and the word on this bracelet is clarity, okay? Clarity, as I was approaching my birthday, came up as the word to help guide me through the year, right? Across my entire life. And as I said, I have a tendency toward fast action, and I don't always get clear first. So then I have stumbles, but it's because I didn't stop and weigh things and think about things and find clarity before I acted, right? So for me, this is guiding me, and I have to tell you, this has made a huge impact on my life, especially in my business. This is my word for the year for my life. But here's the thing. I have one for my relationships because I've got something else that I'm focusing on. I'm an internal processor, so I like to experience life. Okay, like is not the right word. I have a tendency to experience life, process it all inside, not really let people in there. Maybe I'll share it later, but I am trying to increase the emotional intimacy in my life. This is one of my goals for this year. And so what that requires of me is to share myself in real time emotionally with the people that I'm close to. So my word for my relationships right now is share, right? When I all of a sudden have the inspiration to share something and I weigh it against my compass, it's share. When I feel like I want to hide, my word is share. I have to do those things, and I use that to guide me, okay? Maybe you're looking at your life right now and you're like, I'm coming out of a really hard point. I think I need to heal, right? If your word was heal, then when something comes up, you would say, is this going to move me forward on healing? Then yes, I'm a yes to that, okay? If it's not, then you have to say no. That is how you keep following your inspired action, right? Let's say your word was tribe, right? You're feeling alone. I've been there, completely isolated. I've got nobody. I feel like I'm completely alone and lonely. And you want to build a tribe at this point, then you ask yourself tribe, right? You get a clue, an idea, a decision, and you say, is this going to increase my tribe, expand my tribe? That's how you make your choices. Maybe it's intimacy, right? This is something that many people that I coach work with, is how do I increase intimacy? Again, you use that to guide you. Now, one word of caution. Be careful about rationalizations and fears. Like, here's an example. Let's say you were going to use the word communication. You want to get better at communication, right? And you're angry about something, and you're like, well, I'm just gonna yell it all out right now because communication is my word, right? There's a difference between communicating in a healthy way, right, and communicating in an unhealthy way. So don't let your word rationalize behaviors that don't align with your heart. Just be careful of that, right? If your word is partnership and somebody who is not a good fit asks you to get coffee and you're like, well, it's partnership. Well, you've got to follow your intuition and your instincts too. So just get centered in your heart, feel how it feels, and that's how you're going to pick your word. So you're going to pick your word today, either write it on this certificate and cut that off and post it somewhere, or, this is how I remind myself every single day when I get in the shower, I have to take this off and put this back on. And that gives me a daily reminder of what my focus is. So put it somewhere where it can guide you, and watch as that destination becomes more and more and more of a reality as you follow this compass into this next year, right? If you constantly ask yourself, heal, how do I heal? How do I heal? The universe is going to give you clues. You follow those and you're going to heal. That's the way it works. So this is what you're going to do today. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything on my notes. Okay, this is what you're going to do today. If today you pick your word and take your time with this could take you like a good week as you mull things over and figure out if that's a good fit or not. When you pick your word, come tell us. I want to know what it is. You can put it in comments, or you can just drop me an email. I'm very excited to hear what you pick, what your compass is for this year, where you're focused. And share this if you've got someone else who would enjoy picking a word for their year, especially if it's somebody who picks it for their life. Because like I said, those are two different things for me. I've got two different goals that I'm focused on. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being here live, participating in this challenge. We as a group, by doing this and by doing these things in our relationships, we are raising the energetic vibration of love in this world. I 100% believe that. And I appreciate you for being here and for doing that. So thank you very much. I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Okay, mwah.